Hey gang, it's William. Welcome back to the New Frontier. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. DS, inventor of the Nintendo one, if you're curious.
Oh,
But
yeah, yeah. It's cool.
uh, so what are we talking about today, David?
Well, knowing us, probably several things, but ideally, we're going to be talking about what's this year? 2025's James Gunn's Superman.
Yes, 100%. That's what we're talking about, amongst a million other things. Um, and I guess I'll say this first. Just because I was so excited about this movie, I the week before decided to start rewatching the Justice League animated show because I think I haven't
Oh, good
watched it but
choice.
once. Yeah, and well, number one, I don't think I forgot how depressing and dark it was, but it was definitely yes, children's media. Early 2000s. Everyone's dying. First episode. But I love that show. You and I have long talked about this. We've talked about how this is what we want the live action to be, and that we believed, you and I, that not just fans but normal people could handle the amount of characters and strange things. Like, we're not talking about Marvel. That's their own style of doing this. The way the Justice League show was with the space station, all these things, I was like, this is what I want. This
hmm
is what I want. And we kept getting, oh, look, there's maximum 3 people in this movie, and everyone's still, all this, blah, blah, blah. And so then I watched this movie, and I do have problems with it. I got stuff I want to talk about, but I was like, oh my God, they're doing it. The vibes I felt at the end, whatever, once again, whatever problems I had, whatever I loved about it, I was like, I'm excited for what's next. I've never been that excited about after watching this. It's like, this is fine. I might rewatch this maybe a couple times, but I'm excited for what's coming next based off how this is. You feel like you're the same?
Oh yeah, like similar.
Yeah.
This had some amazing vibes, and more importantly, I am actually excited for what's coming next.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh man, I guess if you've ever listened to our podcast before, there's times when we're like, we long story short, we used to have this is how we go through it. We talk about the plot, then we talk about this and this. Now, we've lost that. Now it's literally, let's just talk about chunks of the movie. And then 3 days after recording, we're like, oh crap, we
Wait a
completely
second.
forgot
Yeah. We didn't talk about the plot. Wow. Oh no.
Yeah, obviously, I'm completely fine with the everything has existed. We don't need origins
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh my god. Finally.
Yes, yes,
Finally. We've had
yes.
superhero movies fairly consistently since 2008, and even before then with like old school, old Marvel, old DC. Like
Yeah,
we've had a decade and a half of origin stories, so it's nice just to jump into a universe that's like early but
yeah,
not new.
yeah,
Superman
yeah,
has been Superman for 3 years, so enough that he's known, enough that he's been in some fights, but not so. But he hasn't been established so long that he's lifted the infinite mass book or done some outrageously stupid Superman feats that are appropriate when he's a much more established Superman. We've got a young Superman who's just doing his best.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, 100%. I like, once again, I like that they're like, we can make a different story by skipping to the next movie. It's like,
Yeah.
this is the second movie. Lois and Clark are together. She
hmm
knows he's Superman. Oh, shocker, spoilers. I don't know why you would click on this like multiple hour video, and not think so, but there's spoilers. Yeah. I loved all that.
Yeah. Well, and like we're jumping in like halfway through another movie where
Exactly.
he has the fight that he loses in the first act, and we just get to skip all that.
Yep.
And that sounds like, oh, that's kind of a maybe not good thing to do, but I loved it. Like, oh, great, we get to actually jump to like the interesting part of the story, which is like the second act.
Yep. Exactly.
What do you do
Exactly.
now that Superman's been beat for the first time? Like, to start the movie there, I think was such such a cool choice.
So let's get some casting stuff out of the way.
Okay.
We're not going to start with Superman because that's the easy one. The Nathan Fillion, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Hate him, love him. What'd you think?
Oh, you love to hate him. They did Guy Gardner so good because you want to just punch him in his dumb bowl cut, but at the same time, I kept wanting him to have more screen time.
Yes.
Like he has his own little mini arc too, but the fact that he responds well to people constantly inflating his ego, and like when Metamorpho's like, I think your costume's neat, he's like, oh, okay, you can join the team.
It's the name. It was the name. The Justice Gang. That's what he said.
That's right. The Justice Gang. Yeah.
I thought that was great.
But for his little standout moment of just like using there were two moments. I don't know. Do we want to just keep doing casting stuff? Because I got two Green Lantern moments that
we're talking about the castings. To talk about the two things, the moments you liked about the character.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I love. I know
what you're gonna say.
I love how he used the ring. I love how
the middle finger.
The middle finger, just a whole bunch of middle fingers rising up from the sand. Hilarious. Also really funny because Guy Gardner is like one of the least creative Green Lanterns. That's one of his shticks.
Yeah.
You got John Stewart, who's like making machinery that's, functional. Like he's so well in tune with the design that all the little gears and mechanisms are working properly. And they get Guy Gardner, who's running around just flipping off with using the Green Lantern ring to make middle fingers. And then also when he makes the baseball bat, is just beating the interdimensional limp because that's the most creative thing he can think of. Incredible. I loved it. Loved Guy Gardner. Loved I'm so mad that I'm blanked on one of my favorite actors' names. Nathan Fillion. Oh God.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, you're
good. My brain was smoking. Nathan Fillion killed it. We always wanted him as Hal Jordan, but who would have thought he would be an amazing Guy Gardner?
It made me, even though I know it's going to be more serious in tone, it made me even more excited for the Green Lantern show.
Mm-hmm.
Even I don't care if it's on Earth, whatever. That doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah. I'm down for this. I loved the line. I loved two things with him. First is when Lois is really pissed off that they're not going to help, and she says, she pretty much says your haircut sucks, and he gets so offended. He's like, whoa, what'd you say about my hair? That, and at the end when the moment with the kid and the flag, when he's like, sorry kid, Superman's busy somewhere else, but good news for you, you got an upgrade.
Yeah, you got an upgrade. That is peak Guy Gardner.
Okay, so she wasn't in it a whole lot. What'd you think about Isabella Merced? I'm going to butcher this name. I apologize. Merced, Hot Girl. What'd you think?
Hot Girl. Minor character. Still had sort of the cynical, I'm not going to help people because it's the right thing to do. I'm helping people because I'm getting paid to do it. And I'm also not really a team player at this point.
Yeah.
I think something that we don't know about her yet is like what version of Hot Girl. So I liked her. She has been really good in all the roles that I've seen her in.
Yeah,
and I
know what you're going for though. Like, is the alien version?
Yeah, are we the alien version, the ancient Egypt version?
Yeah.
Who knows? Looking forward, hopefully, to seeing more. Kind of really surprised, but not disappointed that she dropped the evil dictator guy.
Yeah.
It made sense and it fit. I was like, cool. I'm glad that we can just kill bad people. That's nice.
I liked also that, going back to the Justice League show I was watching, the fact that like the every episode is like a rotation of obviously characters and that. I'm not going to get stuck on this, but how like the first couple episodes, Hawkgirl's there, Green Lantern's there, all these characters, even if they're different versions, I love that this movie's like once again setting that up. It's like, here's these people,
Yeah.
So it's cool. I mean, I'm down, Once again, like you said, she wasn't in a whole lot, but I those characters, her and Hawk Man, right? Is it Hawkman or Hawkeye? I don't think it's Hawkman. I don't think it's Hawkeye. But I liked those characters. They're very odd and different characters, with the alien thing or Egypt thing. So I'm excited to see where they go with that. I'm just going based off what YouTube shows me as the cast. These are not in any particular order.
Nice.
I said YouTube, but Google probably. That's what I meant to say. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. What'd you think?
excellent Lois. Love that we got to skip the, Clark revealing his identity
Yep.
and oh no, I don't want to tell her. I like that we got to just jump into their relationship. I
Yeah.
and it I liked her portrayal a lot. But something that I think works well for the movie, but just kind of surprises me, is just how often she just wanted to dump Superman.
Yeah.
And like that was part of her character arc, is learning to let people in, which is one of the themes of the movie. But
Yeah.
for her to be like still halfway through the movie, like, no, yeah, I was thinking of ending things. It's like, oh no.
So what I liked about that is that, once again, not to get in a whole tangent, but we'll just say this: her thing at the end, where she pretty much admits the reason why, and the new relationship, and this is how it's always worked out, and she doubts herself.
Yeah.
I liked that we got that closure to that reasons for her to being the way she was.
Absolutely correct. Yeah. And it makes sense. It's consistent with I feel like it's fairly consistent with the character. It's good for this portrayal.
I when I was watching it, one thing that there's several things, like I said, I didn't like that we'll get to. That's my next question after we go over the casting. But one thing I didn't like at first when I watched it was the interview with Clark / Superman. I did not like that she was that aggressive towards him and not seeing his point of view on that. And it wasn't until later when I looked up on Reddit, I was reading people's opinions on the movie, and a really upvoted comment was people talking about that argument, saying how early couples, have these type of issues and problems like that. And I was like, I didn't like it because I'm like, obviously he's right, agree with him. But it's like, realistically, she's a reporter, you have to have this, against take thing. I liked it. Afterwards, it's more of, you don't like it because it's uncomfortable to watch, but you're like, that's realistic,
Yes.
That
She's a Pulitzer Prize winning reporter for a reason.
Yeah. Yep.
She knows how things look, and she knows how things are, and she knows that sometimes those aren't the same.
Yes. I like that. By the way, this is Google. On the front page, it gives you like 6 actors, and you can scroll through the rest. It's Superman, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Supergirl are the first ones they show.
Oh.
I'm like, what? Like, that's odd.
Where's Mr. Terrific?
That's sad. Once you scroll to the right, it gives you 3 more, and he's not even in those.
What?
It's the engineer,
Okay.
Eve Teschmacher, and Jimmy Olsen.
Okay.
Yeah. He is. That is horrible. That is horrible.
Very upsetting.
Google. It is. He is. What, 3, 9, 18 in. He is 18
What?
in. He is 18 in.
That's
the
ridiculous.
Superman robot is high. Frank Grillo's character is higher up. That's horrible.
It's absurd. Mr. Terrific was like my favorite standout character. Of like, I was not expecting to enjoy this character, but oh no, what do you know? He won me over. He's great.
Once again, I apologize on the pronunciation. Edie Gathegi, I think is his. Once again, I apologize like crazy if that's wrong. But no, he was great. I loved his sarcastic humor. I love that he's like, they're not circles, they're spheres. I liked him a lot. That was cool. We won't go over all the cast. We'll say the main people. Jimmy Olsen, or good old Gideon.
Yeah.
If you've watched Righteous Gemstones,
I was so excited when he was cast as Jimmy Olsen, because he was, I think, him and Nicholas Hoult and Nathan Fillion were the only actors that I really knew when the cast was first getting announced. And I was like, I love me some Gemstones. Gideon's great.
Yep.
This is so much fun for Jimmy Olsen, and apparently it's a shtick in the comics that sometimes he's just a womanizer and doesn't know it. And so for all the women to just be like throwing themselves at him, and he's just oblivious why it's happening and just like trying to do his job reporting. Really fun. Just I don't know what else to say other than that was fun.
There's a episode of Seinfeld where Kramer notices that just women are falling all over him. Like even nuns are thinking of dropping out of the church to be with him. And he goes to the Greek Orthodox church, meets with the priest, and the priest he explains it to the priest, and of course, it's Seinfeld and it's Kramer, so this is insanely serious suddenly. And the priest is like, "Oh my goodness, you have the lure, you know, you have the lure. All these women will follow you." I was like, Jimmy's got the lure.
Jimmy's got the lure.
Man, no, I liked his character. The girl he was with, the one that with the monster feet or whatever, you know,
yeah,
toes
gross
or
feet or whatever. Yeah.
I think that she's the Eve character. I liked her. She was good at playing stupid. I love that all the selfies were secretly, messages. I love that.
And she got to be horrified when horrific things were happening, which is good.
Yes. The Superman robot Alan Tudyk, great. I love that.
I heard. I'm usually not good at hearing voices and being like, "Oh, it's this person," but I heard Alan Tudyk. I was like, "Hey, it's Alan Tudyk."
Exactly. Either you can't tell it's him at all,
mm-hmm.
or that's 100% him, and it's 50-50 on those roles. This was like, oh yeah, that's Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
So apologies to people listening if I skip the people that you think I should be talking about actively, but I will stay. I really liked John Kent. I love that they picked Pruitt Taylor Vincent.
Oh, LaRoche.
I've seen him in so many things where he is either a scumbag or has such strong vibes of a scumbag, and to see him in something like this and for him to do that well, like where he's crying and stuff, I was like, I love this version. I love his speech about raising your kids, how you don't tell them what their destiny, all that stuff. I loved all that.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I was surprised how much I liked Ma and Pa Kent. Because at first when like they're introduced and the gag is like not being able to talk on the cell phone, I was like, here's James Gunn not being able to do something serious, and then we get some of the best like Pa Kent, Clark Kent scenes ever made. Like, well, no, this is just so deeply
great.
touching. And I think something that I really loved is they weren't making big speeches like they usually make. Because I'm still a sucker for Man of Steel. In the Snyderverse, I disavow the Snyderverse movement because oh my god, those guys suck.
Yeah.
But like, I really liked the Mon Pa Kent there, and they had some really really great prepared speeches. But I'm
gonna say I hated Kevin Costner as Pa Kent because he's a fucking idiot. But
that's very fair. But all of
giving your kid a free pass to therapy later in life,
But all of their dialogue felt so prepared and so polished. Like those, that's not something a parent would just come up with to tell their child. But the conversations between Pa Kent and Clark were just very natural, and they still got to the heart of what they needed to talk about.
And I love to go back to him, the crying thing. I love that their version of being a man and masculinity. I like that take, and once again, it's not overt like, oh my god, look at this. The fact that they show you that and you're able to piece together, that's why Clark is the way he is, That's why Superman is the way he is, because you don't necessarily always get that. Even in the good Superman movies with those characters, it's not always like, that's why he's the way he is,
Very true. Yeah. Kindness and being nice to people is the real punk rock.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. So we'll get to the last three main cast people we'll talk about, unless there's someone else that I'm going to miss off this list. Supergirl's at the very end. It's Millie Alcock. I did not expect to see her, actually, and it's genius that they put her into that, because now people are excited mentally when they see it. They're like, that's the Supergirl from the end. And it wasn't in credits either. It was in the last thing.
Yeah.
I love the Red Sun joke about getting drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I love the dog beating the crap out of her and her laughing at it, and you're like, well, that's why the dogs,
there are no bad dogs, only bad owners.
Yep. And I'm excited to see how it goes with her movie.
It's a really cool idea to do her next. It's not something I would have thought, but I'm excited for seeing her. I love that Krypto was hers. I wasn't really expecting, why, because everybody was like, Superman's got a dog now? And I wasn't really expecting that to have a payoff, but it was. And it's to introduce a character who's going to be very different than Superman.
Yep. And once again, Jason Momoa as Lobo. You know, I'm
Jason
excited for
Momoa
that.
as Lobo, yeah.
So, the second to last, good old Nicholas Hoult, Lex Luthor, guy that got the biggest paycheck out of all the actors.
He did. That's crazy to me. It's funny. And it's like very ironic as well for Lex.
I'll say this: my favorite scene in the movie with him is when Superman shoves the table out of the way and he preemptively lifts his coffee cup up. That was amazing. I love that scene.
Yeah. I think. No, keep going. Sorry.
All I was going to say is, I hate this person, and that's good. You're not supposed to like Lex. And by the end, I was like, can someone beat the shit out of this man? You know? And so when Crypto starts ripping the guy up, I'm like, I'm fine with this. They did a good job to where, I hate him. They did good. Mm-hmm. It's you know, he kidnaps dogs, you know?
He shot a man in the head.
Yes, he separates babies from their fathers, you know, and forces them to, puts ex-girlfriends in cages because of,
shot a man on the head.
I liked his version. I liked it fine enough. It was good.
Yeah. Iconic Lex Luthor for me will always be, Clancy Brown from Justice League and from Superman the Animated Series. But I think this is easily my favorite live action Lex Luthor. Like he's not only very smart, but he's also very petty, and he's also got his calm and collected moments, like you mentioned, lifting the mug right out of the way. Just you'll want to punch him. It's so much fun.
I'm excited because once again, if this is the approach they're going with the whole, since it's the younger years, we can get more of that Superman, Lex Luthor, and it will be more like the Clancy Brown one. Like, I could see the maturing of these characters happening over the course of the movies.
I could see a President Lex line with this guy as well.
Yes. So once again, we'll talk about the movie as a whole. So we'll move past his character, and go back to the most important guy in the movie, theoretically. Good old David Cornsweet, Superman. What'd you think? How'd he do?
Incredible. This is the first time where me as an audience member, fully knowing Superman and Clark Kent are the same person, I'm sitting there being like, they look very different. Clark Kent at the Daily Planet, I wouldn't know that's Superman. Like he did so good. Exactly. And this is something that people have pointed out. He did so good switching between the different personas, the Superman persona, the Clark Kent persona, the actual, Clark Kent talking to Lois Lane persona, like who he actually is. He did so good swapping between all of these different roles. Probably the best that we've seen anybody do on screen. Like Christopher Reeves iconically switching between the two, but Cornsweet looks so physically different as Clark Kent as he did Superman that it almost fooled me.
Even though it's different, I just want to. We're gonna keep talking about it. I love the line at the end between Perry White, right? It's Perry White and Jimmy, where he's like, "How long have they been sleeping together?" I thought that was great.
Oh, yes. This was a good Perry White as well. Like, such a good minor casting role.
It was. Wendell Pierce. Good old Perry White.
Wendell Pierce. Okay.
I'm not that talented. I have them still pulled up on my screen. So Superman, I loved his portrayal. I love that you could tell, especially when he's fighting the giant kaiju, where he's like, we don't have to kill it. And even with Lex and other people, he's like, you don't have to do this, Mm-hmm. He's at the point where he still doesn't understand that there's just some moments where you have to do it this way, You're not going to be able to take the giant monster out and give it a home and feed it and stuff, You just probably have to kill it, because it's going to kill a lot of people otherwise. So I like that take of it on him, especially if it's his first movie, he's figuring stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Just how unabashedly hopeful he was incredibly refreshing. The emphasis, and it's kind of frustrating that him saving people was such a prominent thing in the movie, and for that to be a very new thing.
No, during his interview with Lois, when he gets really angry, and once again, I'm not saying I don't think I'm biased. I think almost everybody would be on his side during that interview, where when he's like, I was saving children, I was saving lives,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't care whatever political thing, I don't care. He's like, I'm not an American You know, I'm saving people. It doesn't matter who
I'm
you
not
are,
making
you know?
a political statement. I am
Correct.
saving lives.
Yep. Yeah, no, I love that.
You
No, I
saved the
liked him a lot.
squirrel.
Yep, saving the squirrel. Apparently, they were going to cut that because
That's
the
what I
audience was
saw. Yeah.
confused. I was like, no, jerks, leave it.
You never trust a test audience.
No, never. Oh yeah, no, I loved him. I think he did great. I'm excited to see where he goes with the character. I hope that we get the Justice League TV show version of him out of this. I'd love the more calm and confident, vibe, while still having the stuff he's got in this movie. No, I think he did great. All right. So we'll talk about things we love, but first I think we got to switch to the stuff we didn't like.
Ooh.
I'll say for me, probably the biggest thing I didn't like is I knew from the trailer this was going to be kind of like this.
Uh-huh.
Where he's bleeding in the snow, and it got to the point where I was like, man, like, when's he going to win? And even at the end when he's fighting Lex with the clone stuff, I was like, come on, bro. I mean, you got to realize the orbs are there. Zap him with your heat vision, or something. And no, he doesn't do that. He gets Crypto to do it. Once again, I'm not saying I have a problem with Crypto doing stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cute he was taking out the balls or whatever. But I'm like, I kind of want to see Superman, especially in the first movie, do something on his own. And this movie, as much as I'm fine, I understand the teamwork stuff. I'm not saying I don't want him working with teams,
Yeah.
Not saying that. But also, like, I mean, I wanted him to do one himself, because he's been getting to beat the shit out of him the whole movie.
That's
and
fair.
It's like get a little more wins for him. Like, maybe just come on, I mean.
Yeah. Was there a physical fight that he just outright won super easily?
No, I don't think
Okay.
I don't think so. Really, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. He saved really people too easily, but it was he like lost to that one guy, the fake political figure guy from the other country. Lost to him pretty bad and fled the scene. The thing is, it just makes me think. I'm going to butcher the name of this movie. I cannot remember, but it's you'll remember. It's the animated DC movie where the other heroes come in and they don't have morals as much.
Yeah.
Yep.
What it's the Earth 3 idiots.
It's the British guy,
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the one where you've got Ultraman and Owlman. No, that's Superman versus the Elite.
Yes. So the whole movie, I was waiting for that scene at the end of that movie to be in here.
Oh yeah, where
the scene where
loose.
Yeah, where the whole place is, because they kind of led up to it in a way where everything's abandoned, everyone's out of the city, it's just him and this guy, and for those who haven't seen Superman versus the Elite, he says to the guy at the end, because they're like, oh, we're gonna beat you up easily, and he like whoops all their asses really bad, even appearing to kill some of them, which obviously, if I remember correctly, he didn't do that,
Yeah,
but
correct.
it's like, he's like, you made the mistake of making sure everyone's out here now, and now I hold back because I don't want to hurt people that are around the area of damage, and I'm butchering this, but then he's like, but they're gone. So now I can do whatever the hell I want with you, and then beats the shit out of them, and I was like, I was waiting for that at the end, where he finally gets to show that it's not me being a baby and smashing things. I can let loose because there's not people I need to protect around or whatever, just me,
That's
just
fair.
my personal take.
Yeah. You know what I didn't like?
Go for it.
I didn't like the music that much.
I did not actively. I think there was moments where there was. I don't think a lot because wouldn't have said it unless you brought it up. But I think there was moments where I was like, "This is trying to force emotions."
Yeah.
That didn't need to be forced.
It's like my thing. I loved the electric guitar.
I like the combo song.
Like the combo. Yeah. I'm mixed on bringing back the original John Williams score because it is iconic. It is.
I liked it for the trailer.
I liked it. I liked it for the trailer. But the music in the movie felt like the music in the trailer, which did that thing of we're going to take the iconic song and we're going to slow it way down and add a whole bunch of echo and a whole bunch of bass and a whole bunch of reverb to it, which is fine for a trailer. We got that with Jurassic Park. We got that with Ghostbusters. But it's like, that's a cliche at this point. But for the trailer, sure. And so when I was sitting there in the movie, like, oh, it's the Superman theme slowed way down again. I like the guitar. I do like the guitar. But and again, me being a Man of Steel fan still, I loved that Superman theme, and I feel like we've proven you can make a new theme. And so for this new universe, I was a little bit let down that they didn't make a new theme.
For sure.
Or at the very least, since we're committing to so much, we're committing to Clark unabashedly saving people, why don't we just commit to the full theme as it is at the right tempo instead of only doing like the first little bit on repeat, slow down?
Yeah, no, I agree. Other thing that I didn't like, that I didn't know I wasn't going to like, because obviously it was a twist. Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. I'm fine with Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. That's fine. I was fine with that.
Yeah.
The twist of them being pieces of shit. I don't know if I was I like the Kents. I like the payoff that it gives at the end and how the story works. I liked all that. Don't know if I liked that being their message to him personally.
Yeah. For me, it's gonna be a wait and see.
Yes.
Because it's very jarring for Lara and Jor-El to, be a bunch of dickheads who are like, yeah, go have a harem and conquer the planet. This is what we want for you. Very jarring. I honestly kind of wasn't really surprised in the moment. Like it I don't know. It didn't surprise me.
Well, it fits the movie.
And it fits the theme of what they're going for. And I think really my final opinion on it will be how much of this impacts Supergirl. Because if this is part of her reason why she's just always out drunk and partying, because she's reconciling with the fact that her ancestors are all big bunch of dickheads, then I will, I think, like it. And right now, I'm just kind of like, interesting, but I'm not. I don't love it and I don't hate it.
So that made me remember something I didn't like about the movie. And once again, we're going to get to all the good stuff. There's a lot more good things I think than bad things for me personally. But it fits in with this where there was especially at the beginning, maybe a little too much. They say title cards are dangerous, There's movies when it's like you're telling us too much instead of showing, and there's stuff that's important to show and not to show. And like with the robots, the Superman robots.
Oh, that was some clunky exposition.
Yes, where it's like, he loves seeing the audio. This. I was like, no. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that that's that hand-holdy,
Yeah.
That scene would be fine without that.
Yeah.
Yep, did not need that. Need that. Weird. So anyway, that was but I don't know if I liked it's such a large plot point, so it's gonna sound bad. I don't mean it that way, but it's like the whole extra pocket dimension thing, and that I felt like, I don't know, that chunk of the movie. I was with all the mutant guy with the kryptonite stuff, all that. I don't know. I'm not saying it was bad or it didn't work, but it was just like, oh, all right, this is a chunk of the movie that's going on a while,
Like the whole him being in prison part, or after he gets out and there's the big split happening.
The split, whatever, that's, sure, I'm fine with that, I guess, but it's the whole him being in the prison, right? It was like, and that character, which I'm not saying I don't like the characters that they introduced. I feel bad, I can't remember his name. Guy with the multiple.
Yeah, but it's Metamorpho, right?
Metamorpho,
yeah.
Not saying I don't like him, not saying I'm not happy he's introduced, but it just felt more, I don't know, once again, it just felt kind of heavy-handed in the way they were going about it. It's like, it was really heavy, all that stuff, and the movie was a lot of heavy. I don't know. I'm not explaining myself that great when it comes to it, but it was, I don't know. The guy getting shot, which I was fine with. It was a lot of heavy. And I'm just like, All right.
That's fair. I did actually. It went on for a while.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I think I liked that this Superman did solve all of his problems by thinking through them.
Yeah.
He didn't. There wasn't a. He didn't punch his way out of a situation. He punched his way into making the American government mad at him by going over and saving lives. But him getting out of the pocket dimension or getting out of the cell by inspiring Metamorpho. And thinking his way through the fight with who I'm convinced will be Bizarro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think for me, I just remembered why you're talking about that stuff. Once again, I was paying attention, but my brain was like,
it's okay.
It's the way he got into the place, where I'm turning myself over to the government, and then he's immediately like sent to this place. I was like, yeah, bro, I wouldn't have gone. Like at that point, I would have like said, no, I'm not doing this. It's like if I'm meeting with the president and this is what I'm doing. It's like that whole thing. I was like, no, dude, get out of there.
I mean, you surrendered yourself to the American government, and the American government just outsourced it to a private company. That's
I was fine with the way they did it in Man of Steel, the meeting where he's just sitting there, even though the handcuffs.
I loved that.
Yeah, I like that. I was like, I guess I'm not saying I'm against him being in the pocket dimension, but the way he got there, I was like, I would have preferred Lex somehow captured him or something, and he ends up there versus the government's like, yeah, dude, we're leaving you. You're going there. It's not even kryptonite cuffs. You're just going to willingly walk yourself into this situation that is probably going to be bad for you.
Yeah.
So,
That's fair. Yeah. The U.S. government just handing him over, not even handing him over. Just they didn't even pick him up to hand him over.
Yeah.
Was very interesting, and maybe there's some fun little commentary about privatization and the government just outsourcing all this. And this is where I think like a President Lex would fit really well, and I hope to see that in the future.
I mean, I'm going to argue, without going into specifics, because, it's not as much fun, I would say most of the stuff with, the war in the other country and the way Lex handled things in his own personal life, and other stuff, I think a lot of that definitely lines up with political commentary in the real world. You could still enjoy this movie without knowing those things, but I do think a lot of that stuff lines up with, without going into details for obvious reasons.
This movie came out at a very relevant time.
Yes. But yeah.
What are some things you liked, William?
I'll say one thing. As I'm looking at the cast list still on here, I feel horrible. By the way, this is how much they shafted Mr. Terrific in this Google search result. Okay, he is listed after Sean Gunn, and he's listed.
Sean Gunn had one scene.
He's listed after William Reeve, the son of Christopher Reeve.
Whoa.
He's listed after him, and I was like, no. I that's cool. No. I love that he was in the movie. Why is he that low?
Because of all the Justice Gang members, he definitely had the biggest role.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's above the Superman robot. He's above Frank Grillo. He's above Metamorpho. Oh, my God. I thought Metamorpho was someone else. Huh?
Is it NoHo Hank from Barry?
It has to be.
Isn't it?
Because it shows so... I swear it looks like him. No, like, I don't know why it says it's Anthony Kerrigan.
I
mean... Oh, they used the wrong picture. For the casting. They used the wrong picture. But that's him. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's NoHo Hank. I was so glad that was him.
Unless that's just him really young with hair, and I didn't realize that's what he looked like. Wow. All right. Yeah, sure. No, I like that. I mean, I like... once again, I'm fine with the more weird... I love the comics. I love Justice League. There's Mr. Mizigal picks or whatever, I'm fine with the weird shit happening. I'm fine with that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all good with that. Maxwell Lord. I was like... I leaned over to my parents, and I was like, that's who Pedro Pascal played in
Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah. Wow. They're like, what? And I was like, no, it's not, worth, worth the play. So, I liked that. I liked the positivity. Really loved the positivity. Even with the shit happening to him, even with the world crap, all that stuff. I loved his love, his positivity. I loved the moments with his pa, John Kent, and his ma Kent, whatever. And I loved that the scene where she's like, "Let me get your boots or whatever," all that stuff. I love that stuff because it really shows you his character without beating you over the head with it. Like you can see that's his character.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for doing this. I completely forgot about this bad thing, and we're gonna move past it. I want to say the scene where they're showing his childhood videos at the end, how they kind of did the same beat your head as like, look, he likes seeing this kind of thing. I'm like, I'm fine with him watching them. The robot's like overly explaining him watching. I was like, come on, just let us see that he's watching that.
Robots were very clunky.
They were, and I didn't even dislike the robots. It was just that it's just
bad exposition.
No. It was. There's really heavy-handed stuff with him. I loved Crypto. I thought Crypto was great.
Oh, Crypto is good boy.
He is good dog.
Crypto's a good
bad
boy.
dog, but good boy.
Oh, he's a good boy.
I loved Crypto. I think the casting was amazing overall. I don't think I had any people where I was like, I would have picked somebody else for that.
No.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought, like I said, it's just such a weird. I don't know if I've ever had this problem with a movie before, where, and after I say this, I want to hear your things you liked about it too. But it's where I'm at the end of it. I'm like, I'm not saying this is like the most amazing movie. I'm not saying it's like the greatest. It's going to be the greatest Superman movie. I'm not saying any of that. But I'm less excited about it being here. I'm more excited about what we're going to get. I know, based off this trajectory, that most likely we're going to get some amazing stuff that we should have had already. We should have had this kind of stuff already with the DC Universe, and I'm glad we're finally getting to it. And I'm glad that people are paying a bunch of money to go see it, which proves what you and I have always said, which is we don't need the only a couple characters, a bunch of origins, society hating the heroes. I was done with all that stuff. So I'm glad that all that, yeah. Jeez. So, go ahead. What'd you like about it?
Yeah, what did I like? Like we talked about how nice it was to already be established. I think a standout thing for me was just Lex Luthor. I loved how petty he was, because his driving motivation is a deep dislike and distrust and an enviousness of Superman, which we haven't, I think, gotten in any other adaptation. Because all of his other movie appearances have been about real estate, more or less. Like his end goal is the real estate, and Superman's in the way. And in this one, he's got his little real estate scheme going, but like, no, that was just so that I could kill you.
Yeah.
And I loved how petty he was. I loved he's basically just calling out injustice fight moves, like, an amazing Lex Luthor.
I'll say, I know people are going to be mad about this one. I loved his Lex Luthor, and I think it's, like you said, probably one of the best, if not the best, portrayal of him in live action. I think, I looked this up recently. So, like, enough time has passed since the Snyderverse movies. I don't think I've ever disliked Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. I've always thought, because once again, for me, people always have their problems with these movies. We're not going to get into it. I'm like, they're Elseworld movies. Stop being mad about them. They're Elseworlds movies.
Thank you.
And so so it's like, I'm not mad. That's not quote unquote Lex. It's Lex, but Elseworlds. You know. So I'm fine with this version of Lex because it's Elseworlds. I liked his portrayal. I loved all that stuff. So I looked up unpopular opinions on Reddit. I pulled up stuff about him. Unfortunately, this is not one of those where I am like, oh, there's the people on my side. No, I am the massive minority on that. And I was like, that sucks. I actually did like his. He's such a good nut job. Oh. Anyways, but no, I loved Lexi. It was very. It was good. It was good. I liked it. I liked it. I was going to say something negative, but I think I liked his performance. The acting was great. I liked the portrayal. All that. Yeah. Your turn.
I just did Lex Luthor.
Oh man, I loved. I'll say this: I loved how much real how many real sets were used in this, and how many real props were used. The outside, obviously, of the Solitude, Fortress of Solitude, is fake, but the internal, they built that thing completely to film.
Very nice. Yeah.
There so much stuff. So many. I've seen so many behind the scenes things where you get to see the sets and the weapons and all that stuff, and I'm like, that's really cool. That much of it's practical effects. So I liked that a lot. Yeah, I liked the I think it was the only James Gunny scene. The scene where Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane show up on the beach, and it's a very peacemaker scene.
Yeah, we got the needle drop, right?
Yep. And I actually liked it. I was like, I actually would not have been offended by more of that in the movie personally, but I understand why he did the way he did it. But I liked that scene. I thought that scene was great. Very much a James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy Peacemaker thing. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I love that. All right, now your turn.
I really liked the engineer. Character I knew absolutely nothing about. Like, as soon as I saw the other guy and was like, oh, it's Ultraman, he's got the U, it's a Superman. Either a clone or from another universe, I don't know, but it's a Superman. Like, knew that. I knew nothing about the engineer. Her power set was very interesting and used very well. Like, we're just going to choke out Superman by filling his lungs, blocking his laser vision. Wow, like, so incredible stuff.
That completely reminded me of something else.
And I usually hate nano stuff, but I loved it.
Yes, the scene where he on his own figures out how to take that problem out. You know, that scene, I love it. I just wish there was a couple more like that of him doing that. Once again, I know it's his first movie; he's still figuring stuff out. Whatever. I'm not complaining overall about that, but I love that. I was like, look, he's like, I figured this out. This is what I got to do to fix this. Yeah, no, I liked that.
But such a cool enemy too, because you got the I can punch as hard as you can villain, which is usually what we always get, and we actually have Superman dealing with a physically weaker opponent, but she has powers that can neutralize him. You know? Just you can't shoot laser vision if your eyes aren't open, and you can't. Oh, Superman still needs to breathe.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, that was some fucked up shit. That scene, I was like, "This is nasty." Like, I mean, in the way that it works, I was like, I like I said, I was with my parents, and my mom was there looking like, "William, what the hell's happening?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's happening." Yeah.
But yeah, character, actress, amazing stuff. Loved it.
Yes. All right. So we can talk about whatever we want going forward from this, but I'll say something I thought was interesting for me personally is that. On my mom's side of the family, my uncle and my grandparents, and then there's my mom, all of them have seen the movie at this point, and they all hated it. Oh. And this is so I have some history to explain on these people.
Okay,
these people, my family, my uncle, when he was a young child, like 6 years old, was in love with the character of Superman and had a cape and would watch the cartoon, and it literally ended up on the roof one day about to jump because he thought he could fly because he had his cape on. And my grandparents, being the best parents of all time, said, "Stay there," went and grabbed the camera. But so it's and so my mom is a part of that. Obviously, that's her younger brother. She grew up with that too. And then my grandparents, they all grew up with the Christopher Reeves movies, and so. Even though I'm disappointed that they all kind of hated it, I completely understand. It's their version of Superman is the one that they were like, we like this character from the comic books. Let's take all of this other stuff out. And I'm not saying those are bad movies, obviously, but it's a very crowd pleasing. This is the easiest entry version of this, that people won't be confused about certain things. And they also just really hated that guy beat up a lot. They really hated that. And, whatever. It's, but I thought that was interesting where it obviously is making money. And a lot of young people obviously like it. It's doing well, And I know it's not just all comic book nerds, but I think it's interesting that the people that grew up with the only way you're going to see it is the live action movies up until now.
Mm-hmm.
The version when they got to this, they just didn't like it, you know.
That's really interesting because from what I've seen, and I don't have family members who have watched this, but the overall vibe that I see is the people who loved the Reeves movies finally feel like they have another Superman.
So my grandpa said his favorite part of the movie and one of the only things he liked was the dog. He said that, which I was like, that's actually surprised me, but I was fine with that. I was like, cool, I'm glad you like the dog.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. He's a real good boy. But I don't know. I think it's the getting beat up thing. So my grandpa's had the same problem, you know, and I don't know how many other people are like this, but when he watches the Daniel Craig James Bonds, the scenes where he's being tortured, it's like he's the good guy. They're not supposed to be beat up. You know, you don't need to see Superman bleeding because he's Superman. You don't see that. And obviously, that's not how I look at movies. I'm like, well, that's boring. That can get boring. You know, you don't need to see them, you know, bleed all over the place, dying guts out or whatever. I'm not saying that, but it's like when you see, oh crap, this is an actual fight because he could die. You know, it's more interesting than, well, yeah, I know Superman's not going to die. This is the movie Superman. You know, it's going to work out this or whatever. You know,
Superman lost in Superman 2 to Zod. You know, he didn't get as graphically beat up, but you know, he lost several times from what I recall.
No, and you know, whatever. Like I said, I just think it's an interesting take. Not that I agree with it, but it's interesting to see that. You know, my mom, who did not like a lot of the movie, especially that stuff, didn't like Lois Lane fighting with him, all these things, you know, stuff. Where she said, besides that stuff, she says, as a movie, as the cinematography, the acting, she said, all of that is 10 out of 10. And she just didn't like that this Superman was treated that way, you know, and didn't like that so it's, you know, whatever. It's still, I like that they can still find positives in it, but it's, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah. I did like the flying scenes. It's something that I haven't talked about, like, but the way they portrayed his flying, I thought was also really nice, really cool. I don't know what else to say about it, but something like I don't know. I feel like these days I don't respond to a lot of visuals in movies. I'm more there for like the plot and the themes and the characters. But when I saw him flying, I did feel a little giddy.
Have you seen the behind the scenes video of them showing him how he's flying? It was really neat because he's in a room surrounded with wall-to-wall screens.
Not green screen. The volume?
Like actual video.
Like actual video. Like how they do like Mandalorian, some of the Star Wars, like the volume.
How do you mean?
In a room with a bunch of screens that are playing the things that way, like it's what the actors are actually seeing. And
so when you see him in the area he's in the movies, where you see where he's flying, that's what the actor's actually seeing. Yeah,
that's good.
And so they show that, and I was like, that's cool. You know, it's not just green screen, you know, stuff. And unlike the movie where, you know, they're holding the cape, waving it, it's got like little ropes on it, pulling it up and down. I was like, there you go, you move past.
But we stole jobs from those people. They could have come back and flapped the cape.
Oh, man.
Incredible. Superman Returns. I was going to say underrated, but I think it's rated about where it needs to be.
You know, best scene in Superman Returns is Lex handing his wig to the little girl. Great stuff. Great stuff. We needed this. You know, that's what this movie was missing.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, obviously. But no, I'm looking forward to this universe. I really am. I'm looking forward to the Green Lantern show. I'm looking forward to Supergirl show. Movie. I'm excited for things we have not gotten yet that we'll be getting. You know,
Peacemaker season 2 is going to be canon to this. Peacemaker season 1 technically canon to this.
Someone said it's 90% canon.
Yeah.
Like,
Creature Commandos was canon to this as well. And that was another thing that I watched, not expecting to enjoy it because, you know, oh, look, it's yet another Suicide Squad. And then, sure enough, they got me again, and I liked it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I liked whatever. I was fine with their take on the Justice Gang or whatever. I liked it. It's small because it's the early days, so I wasn't against or anything like that. I'm just trying to look up the other. What was it called? Oh my god, we're getting a Jurassic League animated. That's unrelated from this. This is not set in the universe.
Neat.
I was trying to see what James Gunn has announced.
While you're doing that, I'll talk about another thing that I liked. I liked the kids. Like every time there was a kid who's like Superman, like the just how much, because Man of Steel, that whole thing was like, oh, you'll be a symbol of hope, and they tried to do it here and there. They did a lot of grandstanding, and they kept like saying that people saw him as a symbol of hope in the later movies. But this was the first time I felt it.
I agree.
Because like, the one kid raising up the Superman flag is like, I
love that.
Beautiful. I love how he was seen by the public.
Yes. Once again, we won't get into whole comparisons, and at least at this episode of the podcast, of like Snyderverse stuff, because I do like a lot of things about the Snyderverse,
Same.
And I love that. I'm not always a fan of universes where the world hates a character, especially when it's Superman, know? And you can have problems with them, the governments can have problems, but the population, I feel like, needs to, most of the time, like Superman a lot. And I liked that was in this, very much so. The guy picking him up, I love that. I love that. Talk about scenes that got me choked up. I don't know if there was that many in it, but the scene where he was about to be shot, and he's like, "Don't worry about me. I don't have anybody." And I was like, oh, jeez. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, well, fuck.
That hurt. And that, it solidified that this is the worst Lex Luthor put to screen. Like, the slimiest. I hate him so much. A scene that choked me up as well, and I think it'll be my favorite scene of the movie, is when they take Clark back to his parents. And Lois Lane gets to just see, because she doesn't know, she knows he's Clark Kent, but she doesn't know how Clark Kent grew up.
And she hasn't met his family before.
Hasn't met his family. I don't think, I kind of got the vibe she didn't even know, like, he was from Kansas. So for her to see how that, yes, he did grow up here, that he's human. And then in his room while his parents are doting on him, and she just gets to look around and see his childhood, and she sees the punk rock poster. I loved that. That was so deeply humanizing, and that'll be my favorite scene from the movie.
Like I was saying earlier with the her arguing with Clark or Superman during the interview, I'm in the moment I was like, I don't like this, but as the film progresses, you see why she's that way. It's an early relationship. She's still figuring out stuff. He's still figuring out stuff, and you see that. And for her, once again, when it's not the robots hammering you over the head, when it's you learning your own stuff through the visual things, I really like that as well. No, I thought that was cool. Good old Pa Kent. So this is what we got. Once again, Supergirl's next.
Nice.
The director of that, I think I talked about him with you in our chat, so the people know exactly what we're talking about now. I love that he did Lars and the Real Girl, I, Tonya, and Cruella. I have not seen. The only one I've seen is Cruella, and it's one of those Disney movies.
Oh, okay. The only one I've seen is Lars and the Real Girl.
So I'll say Cruella. I would say 9 out of 10 live action remakes of Disney I think are garbage. Like, just personal opinion. I don't think I'm offending that many people by saying that. And if I am sorry about that, I'm glad you like these movies. Obviously, a lot of people like them. They make $1 billion or something. So, but the Cruella one, I was like, okay, so you actually took something and didn't completely copy it and then change things for no reason. You made something that is nothing like the other ones. It's completely new and unique story, and it commits to it. And I liked it. I actually liked it quite a bit. It was actually emotional and got a lot of good stuff. And I was like, this is actually unique, and I like it. So, and I, Tonya, I've heard is amazing. I have not seen it yet. I love Margot Robbie. Uh, I've heard it's a really great film, and so I just love that. And I want to hear your thing about Lars and the Real Girl, but I'll say I love that this man has directed at least I, Tonya Cruella, these movies that are female led and are not the typical this is what Hollywood says a female led movie should be. It's not girl boss or whatever, that kind of stuff. It's not, oh, they're stronger than dudes or whatever a Ray thing goes on, Mary Sue. It's literally, this is a fully formed character that it doesn't matter girl or guy, this is their thing. So I'm excited for Supergirl because of that. It's a guy that can make a movie that's female led and not be, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's just a movie, and people, whatever. I'm not going to get into all that, but yeah.
No, because I saw Lars and the Real Girl within the last year or so, and it had the opportunity to be one of the most mean-spirited movies because it's about a guy who falls in love with the sex doll, and thinks the sex doll is real. Honestly, truly, deeply believes that the sex doll is real, and he has conversations with it. And it has the opportunity to make a movie about everybody in his life laughing at him, but it's this deeply wholesome, affirming, loving movie about people being understanding, and supportive during this time. They all start I forget the doll's name, but they're like, well, maybe Lars the doll needs to go out and volunteer, and we're gonna take her over to the bingo place. But the whole community gets involved to help take care of her, take care of him, and I wasn't expecting something that would move me and touch me, especially with the premise of guy falls in love with sex doll. But it was really good. And so I was, when you told me that this was the director, I was like, oh wait a second here. Let's see what we got.
So just in case you've heard these other movies that I want to look at, his first movie was called Mr. Woodcock with Billy Bob Thornton, and it looks exactly like you would think a movie called Mr. Woodcock was.
Okay.
We're not going to get into it, but Billy Bob Thornton has 2 basketballs in front of his crotch, which, that's the only movie it seems to be like that he's done. Because the same year he did Lars and the Real Girl, and then he did Fright Night.
The same year?
Same year. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep. Same year. Yep.
Okay.
Then he did Fright Night, which is a horror film. The only reason I say this because you're into horror, so maybe you've heard of it, maybe not. But
I don't think I have.
$1 Million Arm. I remember hearing about it. It's got John Hamm, right?
Okay.
And it's a Disney movie, which is odd. The Finest Hours, which I once again remember seeing a trailer for back in the day. Chris Pine. Then he did Dumb Money. He did Dumb Money, the GameStop movie. About the stocks getting shorted.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, So I think he has a very interesting thing. I remember this is so refreshing only because you look at the DC movies of the Snyder era, and the ones that weren't him. The people that were writing those and the ones that were directing, you look at their back catalog and you're like, I am so worried right now because this is 20s on Rotten Tomatoes, a bunch of 20s, But I like that this guy's at least had movies where it's critically acclaimed and Oscar winning, some of them, Okay, so we also have Clayface.
That's right. My favorite Mike Flanagan is somehow involved. I don't think he's directing. I think he maybe wrote the script.
He wrote it. It's directed by James Watkins, who did Eden Lake, The Woman in Black, and Speak No Evil. Which is the most...
Okay. I'm not nearly as excited, but Flanagan is the man again, so I'm going to see it.
Yes. He also did Bastille Day, which, it's got Idris Elba, so it's got to be good, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Black Superman.
He also did the 3rd episode of the 3rd season of Black Mirror called Shut Up and Dance.
Shut Up and Dance. Okay, that's an iconic one. Yeah.
Okay. So other than that, I don't know. Yeah, this guy's not as, I don't know as much, but Clayface, cool. Glad we're getting that. It'd be interesting. They said it's going to be similar in tone to The Fly and The Exorcist films and Carrie.
Carrie is an odd one to throw in there, but all right.
And so we'll move past that. We're also getting The Authority.
I know nothing about this.
The Authority is a team that thinks the world is completely broken, and the only way to fix it is to take things into their own hands, whether that means killing people, destroying the heads of state.
This is because Superman versus the Elite has been talked about a lot recently, and I think the Elite were based on the Authority.
Yeah, could be. The pandemic, a Wildstorm acquired Genesis Passion Project. He said that's his passion. Oh, I guess we're probably gonna get it. It's a very big script and a struggle to coming together, but he said that it will have connections to Superman. So interesting.
Okay, all right.
The one, honestly, I'm not saying I'm not. I'm excited for Supergirl because we've never had that, so I'm excited for that.
We had it once.
Well, okay. Did we?
She fought like a weird dragon and a witch or something. I don't know.
Oh my god. The Brave and the Bold.
The Brave and the Bold. We're getting a bats.
Yep, we're getting a bats. Once again, I like Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I actually really like Ben Affleck. Quite a bit. I like Michael Keaton. George Clooney, whatever.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Yep. Yeah. Love that.
Uh-huh.
And I feel so bad. Val Kilmer. I actually like Val Kilmer as well. And so, that being said, all those takes, I just like with the Superman stuff, I'm fine with those takes as a whole. I'm fine with those versions of that character. I want something different. I want, and when it's a title like The Brave and the Bold, I'm like, give me that. Give me that show. Give me that show with Batman where he's the straight one and everyone else is the comedic or the over the top. And the fact that it's about the Bat family.
I knew it was going to be about the Bat family.
And it's got Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne is Robin.
Great.
It's a strange father-son story is what Gunn said.
Fantastic.
So, once again, I'm down for that. I'm excited to see Superman and Batman together in the way that's not the Snyderverse version. Because once again, whatever, you can do that. That's fine. Yeah. My favorite version is the Justice League TV show version where they're like best friends, but Batman's still Batman.
Yeah, it's such a hard time. Well, it shouldn't be a hard dynamic to get right, but we've refused for like the last 10 years to let them be actual friends. I'm reading through the Batman Superman comic that came out with the New 52, specifically just about these two characters, and they're supposed to be friends, but it really just feels like a begrudging respect for one another, where they just don't 100% trust each other, and but like, you just let them be friends. It's not that hard.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm down for that. And I don't know. It's so weird to have to explain it this way because I feel like people are like, "What are you talking about?" But it's like, I want. I should have mentioned this earlier, but I got every once while watching Superman, I got Venture Bros vibes.
Ooh.
And not just, I'm not just saying necessarily the type of humor and all that stuff, which a little bit, but it's the idea of what I love about Venture Bros. And we're not going to go on a rant, I promise. Is the whole everything's established.
Yes.
They'll mention something and it's not immediately giving you a reason. It's there, it exists. No one's explaining it because they all know. It's already a thing. And that's what I'm excited. And I would love for that with all of this. I'm excited for that, kind of stuff where we're throwing you in and you either know what's going on or you don't, and it's not going to ruin your experience if you don't know explicitly.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Maxwell Lord is, that doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your overall stuff to know that.
Yeah.
It'd be a little cool thing, but not to switch over immediately, but we are apparently going to get Swamp Thing with James Mangold, and it's going to be a gothic horror film.
Okay.
And it is apparently going to be set within the DCU continuity.
Okay.
Yep.
I remember when we watched Swamp Thing?
Yes. I love that show.
I'm excited. Yes, Swamp Thing worked really well as a horror because it is. as we're getting Clayface as a body horror, but Swamp Thing 2 is another. It's a body horror where a guy does kind of lose his entire humanity.
I'm gonna be honest, like the scene. I was gonna say this earlier, and I just we kept talking about other stuff, but the scene with the engineer, that was some body horror, I believe, right there with the choke.
Yes.
And I thought that while I was watching, I was like, that's some body horror stuff. So I'm not a huge fan of body horror, but when it's not like, I don't think these movies are gonna be doing the body horror I'm not into, like the what's the one that came out last year? No, the Substance. Substance,
yeah. That's fair.
But we're also getting an untitled Wonder Woman film that was just announced by Gunn. Also, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Whatever. Like, I don't have anything against Wonder Woman. I when I was watching the I don't like the Wonder Woman in the New Frontier, that's for sure. But no, that's not it. No, sorry, I like that Wonder Woman. It's the Wonder Woman in Flashpoint, which for obvious reasons you're not supposed to really like.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, I'm down for another Wonder Woman. We'll see how they do it. When I was watching Justice League, it was the origins of Wonder Woman, where all these heroes exist, but she has not yet left the island. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that being her take too, if they go that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. Untitled Teen Titans film.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. Untitled Bane and Deathstroke team up film. I'll say this.
That's a choice.
There are a lot more villain movies being planned out for this, which I'm not saying is a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of cool that instead of just the Avengers type thing, or with Sony and their weird only bad guys thing, this is a mix,
Yeah, I think that definitely could be interesting with Bane. And you say Bane and Deadshot, or Bane and who?
Deathstroke.
Okay, yeah. I could maybe. I've been proven wrong about a great many things, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is a dumb idea, and I'm not going to watch it. So I'm
wrong about James Gunn stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember when we went to see on opening day Guardians, you're like, the whole lead up, you're like, this is going to be garbage. This is going to be the flop of Marvel. And I was like, dude, this is going to be amazing. And then of course, guess who was right?
Yeah, I'm willing to be proven wrong, and I. Let it not be said that I'm not willing to say that I was wrong and change my mind.
We're also getting Sergeant Rock, which is pretty odd. I think out of all these, that's maybe the oddest live-action movie to do. Okay. We were going to have Daniel Craig as the main character, and unfortunately he dropped out, but I think that would have been cool. But yeah, sure. Whatever. That's odd. But so for the shows, we got Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, Lanterns, which we've talked about.
Yep.
Booster Gold. We're getting a Booster Gold television show.
Oh, that's good.
And what was I? Does it say who they've? I thought I read something yesterday about casting. I could be wrong.
For Booster?
Yeah. Okay. Booster Gold travels back. Yeah, we know Booster. They said it's going to be an outright comedy series. It's going to be HBO Max. And Dave Jenkins. No, he's not him anymore. So, yeah. Oh, that's sad.
Oh, no.
Dave Jenkins took over because the person that was originally coming up with the show was Danny McBride. Oh, man.
Oh, man. A Danny McBride Booster Gold.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, man. That sucks.
So I remember, like, a couple years back, Gunn said the actor for Blue Beetle, like, Blue Beetle's not canon, but they're going to keep the actor, and I hope he shows back up, because he and Booster Gold get paired up a lot.
Yeah.
And that actor was not the problem with Blue Beetle.
No. We're getting an untitled Blue Beetle series.
Oh, hey!
And we're getting a Mr. Miracle series.
Mr. Miracle, okay.
Yep. Once again, I'm excited, and I'm not saying the overall thing.
Yeah.
The way they're going, Paradise Lost, which shows it's a political drama about the all-female island of Themyscira before the birth of Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yep. Based on a comic that came out in 2001.
Neat.
Interesting. Cool. They said they don't know when it's coming out. That one, but also we're getting the Waller spinoff show, which was odd, but sure.
Are we?
You know?
So Peacemaker is still kind of canon. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. There, are we getting Viola Davis back? Because she was
I hope so.
Amazing.
It was I love Gunn's. I'm going to keep certain people, and other people I'm going to recast. I like his approach.
That's the same.
Because I really
me from 10 years ago would have thrown a big hissy fit about it, but me from right now does not care.
Yeah, no. I gotta look up the actor's name because I'm gonna feel really, really bad about this. He was in so many superhero movies. So many. Let me see. Not Dolph Lundgren, who I forgot was an Aquaman. My God.
Oh. King Atlan. Yeah. No, wait. Atlan or one of the
King
other
Nearest.
ones?
King Nearest.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Julie Andrews. Oh, that's right. She was the crackhead or whatever. Oh, my gosh. What
those movies
movie.
Happened.
So,
2.
Digimon Hansu. I apologize once again for mispronouncing this.
Yeah.
This dude has been in every superhero movie.
Korath,
I was watching
the Wizard Shazam.
He was even in, what's it called? I was watching I'm gonna be mad that I can't remember it. The Fifth Element. I was like, this dude's in this. I was like, he's just in all these things.
Nice.
He was in Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Yep, Captain Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy, Aquaman, Black Adam. He was in Gladiator.
Right.
He was in Constantine. He was in the movie Constantine.
Oh, the Keanu Reeves Constantine?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's something I hope we get. I do hope we get some Justice League Dark going.
Yes, and I'm fine with him coming back too if they really do that. Keanu Reeves. Yeah, this dude's been in everything. I love it.
Wait, and we're getting him for something?
No, I was just saying in general. I thought about it. Yeah, sorry. No, unfortunately.
You're just saying it's inevitable that we'll get him for something.
Yes. Oh, jeez. Well, unless I'm forgetting something, I'm overall at the end of the day, what do you rate Superman 2025? What would you give it?
So, I really liked it, and I've sat here and sung its praises. It's only going to be at like an 80 or 85 for me.
Same.
I love all of the pieces, and like you said, I'm almost more looking forward to what's going to come next, and that will probably improve my relationship with this movie.
Yes.
I told one of my other friends that to me this was just slightly less than the sum of its parts, where I loved all of the pieces. And I thought all of the pieces were individually great, and I just kind of wished I loved it a little bit more. But it's still, 80, 85 for me. Solid, good recommendation. My God, probably the best Superman I've gotten in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Nope, I agree. I say the 8.5 as well. It's the... I don't think I would have wanted it any different. It's like I didn't need it to be a 10. It's perfect for what it needs to do. It's literally, we're getting, and this is not what it did. This was not a boring movie. This is just a euphemism, me saying this way. They were like, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get the things we have to out of the way and get to the good stuff,
Yeah.
And by the way, they started in the middle of his stuff already. They're getting to that, all that. So I'm excited more for what's to come like you are. I'm looking forward to it. It would be so interesting to see how in the more serious things like Lanterns or Clayface, how the world could still connect like that. It'll be interesting. Yeah. Cool. We waited forever for this movie. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so nice to see it after so many... It's so nice to see this after, we got such a horrible... Anyways... I loved this Man of Steel. I even liked Batman vs Superman extended cut. I liked a lot of the Snyder stuff. There was a lot of bad DC movies. There's some really bad ones.
Yeah,
and I'm so excited to finally have something that's what I always wanted these movies to be in a way. You know,
fresh and more iconic, more less of an Elseworlds and more here is the character.
Yes, and the message in the movie. I'm not saying this is necessarily the message, but it's the I'm here, I'm established. You know,
Yeah.
Like he has that catchphrase "eyes up here," you know, thing.
Yeah.
And I liked that. You know, it's cheesy, but I liked it because it's I'm here. You know, this is my thing. You know, I'm Superman. Blah blah. All that. I like that it's not, you know, hand holding and explaining stuff. I think James Gunn said in an interview, if I can help it, none of my movies will have origin stories in them. You know, and I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if it's just the most obscure person we need it, like with Clayface, I assume we're going to have some origin stuff, you know. But Superman and the same with Batman, oh my God, who does not know how these things have gone down, you know? Jeez. Well, hey man,
hey,
this is a good one.
Yeah, time to go back into cryostasis for a couple more months.
We got a whole year, right? We got a whole year. Yeah. Apparently, Peacemaker, and we'll see if we want to talk about this after it comes out, but apparently Peacemaker takes place 1 month after the Superman movie.
Oh,
Season 2.
All right.
So we'll have that coming up.
Nice.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Mr. David.
All right, Mr. William.
It's, you know, hopefully we do more of these than not. Our upload schedule is, you know, hey, man, you want to talk about this? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We've talked much more often than this.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a never recording it. So, well, I guess I'll see you in the next one, man.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. In the next one in the New Frontier.
Yes. Yes, I would love that movie. I actually, you know what? No, I don't. We're not going to get to it. I was going to say, I'm cutting this part.
Oh, come on! I was more going for like a Challengers of the Unknown.
No. All I'll say is I'm blabbering all over the place. What I was going to say was, my brain was like, I would love a live action of that. But then I immediately remembered how beautiful the comic book was and how it was a perfect adaptation into animation in such a beautiful film, perfectly acted, perfectly cast. The graphic, the art's amazing. And I was like, no, please never do that live action. Like that's not the purpose of that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, no, that was, I just had to make sure. I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, until next time, thank you for listening to The Next Frontier. I butchered that, didn't I?
Yeah. I mean, we can do another rebrand. Next Frontier.
Rebrand. We had the New Frontier, but now we're going to the Next Frontier.
New Frontier is already old news.
Yeah. We need the next one.
Move it on to the next one.
Well, I'll see you in the next New Frontier.
There we go. All right. Bye, man.
Alrighty. So I'll cut this part out.
Okay.
But before you pass out, go on Discord real fast.
Sure.
Yeah, alrighty. Click stop with the big red button. And I don't know if I'm going to send you a screenshot for later how this looks. It is literally your video on top of your video, two of you at the same time with a mini one of me in the corner. You can't explain that.
Uh-oh.
Anyways.
All right.